Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time of the month again. Time for me to do one of my transcription streams, and we're going to have some fun with this one. I know what many of you are probably thinking. You're thinking, Levi, hang on a minute. What are you doing your transcription stream today? You do your transcription streams on the last Friday of the month. Well, that is absolutely true, Billy. That is definitely the case. I will be doing a transcription stream tomorrow night, but the piece that I'm looking at this month as part of my Patreon monthly transcription challenge is it's a tricky one, and I think it's going to take me a long time to get it done. So I wanted to be able to devote as much time as possible to getting this transcription done, and therefore I have decided to stream it twice. Also, we're on lockdown here in the UK. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in that. Oh, that was a bad burp. Stuck in the house with really not much I can do. So, why don't I take some time away from transcribing some Martin Taylor for an upcoming book project, take some time away from that, and transcribe this fabulous piece of guitar playing from Joshua Stefan and Biréli Lagrène. And every single time I say Biréli's name, I am always going to go Lagrène, because I'm going to try and be respectful of his heritage. Biréli Lorraine. That doesn't sound right. Biréli Lagrène. Butchering it, I'm sure, but -7 Sharp 5 is online. Hello, how's it going? Gypsy Jazz, been listening to a lot of Jimmy Rosenberg today. What a coincidence. -7 Sharp 5 is one of my Patreon supporters, and if he goes back through the years of archives of Patreon content that I've done, I have done a lot of Gypsy Jazz stuff because it's a genre I am genuinely a big fan of. And I've done at least 1 month on Jimmy Rosenberg. We transcribed. We did Autumn Leaves. No, we did Blue Bossa. I know I've done Cherokee off of that album, but maybe that was for someone. It might not have been for Patreon, but yeah, transcribed a bunch of Jimmy Rosenberg's playing because he's great. So. Kirk Wammett, long time since I've seen you, man. How's it going? How is being off school for you? Are you enjoying that? Is that cool? Do you like not being at school? You're on the School of War now, of course. Right. I need to say a big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. More so now than ever, doing all of these transcription streams from home is keeping my mind off the fact that half of my income disappeared overnight. So doing my best to keep positive. I would be in big trouble if it wasn't for my Patreon supporters. So thank you so much. With an extra special thank you to my top tier patron, Chris Motes. Chris, you absolutely rock. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you a million more times. We'll have Chris on. In the future at some point. But yeah, Chris, you are a top tier patron. Thank you very much for your support. I love you, bud. And not that this will make much difference because nobody's buying books right now. But if you would like to support me, you can always head to Amazon and check out one of my books just by looking for Levi Clay. I'm sure you will find something you enjoy. Right. What have we got online? Yes, Stefan and Lagrène. We've mixed styles here, if you like. These guys are they're both really interesting players, aren't they? Both really interesting players. Biréli especially. His style is he does the jazz, but he does the gypsy jazz, and he does them so wonderfully. And So Craig says his music with Jacko is outstanding, considering he was only 20 years old at the time. He's just an outrageously talented musician. Exams are cancelled, and your predicted grades are looking up. That's good. That's what a crazy timeline we live in, right? What an absolutely outrageously crazy timeline. So if you are enjoying the stream, if you think that you will enjoy this stream, please do share it with your friends. Post it on Facebook, post it on Reddit, post it on Twitter. This is ultimately one of my top tier educational streams. The goal here isn't necessarily to talk about music and be a critic. The goal here isn't to call people assholes. The goal here is to learn. The goal here is to develop our ears and become better musicians, more well-rounded musicians, expand our vocabulary as musicians. I want to teach the skills that I am looking at here. I want you to have an ear like mine. I want you to be able to do what I am doing here. So, if that appeals to you and you think that skill might appeal to someone else, then please do share this video with your friends. If you don't think it will appeal to anyone, share it with your enemies. Classic. The guitar solos. Right, let's have a look. Watched a long video of yours and Martin Miller's about the cage discussion. Martin almost never let you finish sentences. Yeah. That's okay. I forgive Martin. He is one of my best friends. So, yeah. Biréli is great. Prefer Stefan's playing, though. I can understand that. So Joshua Stefan plays maybe with a little bit more fire. He's clearly more technically focused. He's developed his technique. But, come on, Biréli. Oh. Tasty, authentic. Like he's got that authentic thing about him, right? So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I need to update y'all on. Oh, the UK government. Thank you very much to the UK government who are stepping in to support the self-employed through this crisis, because they are stepping in to support the employed people. They're already doing that, and not been doing anything for the self-employed until today, where they have announced that they, much like with the employed, the self-employed are also finding themselves in a situation where the government are saying, yeah, you've got to shut your businesses. Yep, no, you're not allowed out. No, you can't go and you can't continue to work, etc., etc., etc. But now they are stepping in and saying, we are going to pay 80% of your monthly salary, which is cool, I guess. And evidently that will be allowed in June. They'll have that system in place in June. So for those of you that are self-employed that need money right now, you're just going to have to wait 2 months. -7 sharp 5. So Christian, -7 sharp 5 is the guy. He is the reason why we made that video, because I have had conversations with -7 sharp 5 about this very subject, and it was one I can't. It must have been on a live stream where he said, "Well, Rick Beato." Rick Beato says, and I was like, right, we're fucking doing this. I'm really glad actually I did that video because being a YouTuber is it's a strange world. You make videos that you think are going to do really well, and no one watches them. Then you make videos that you just think sort of flash in the pan. Oh, I want to make a video today. Cool. I'll rage about the -7 sharp 5 chord, and that goes on to be your most popular video that month. Like it's a strange world, very strange world. Anyway, who wants to check out this piece? Let's check out this music. So this is absolutely outrageously good. Major scale with sharp 1, Mixolydian sharp 1, major scale with sharp 1. Right, like I said, let's listen to it. I haven't marked the file out yet, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to mark that file out. In fact, let me do something else before I do that. I want to get you guys a link. Levi Clay Scribe. With you in a second. This is another great way to support the channel. I think a lot of you know what's coming here. Where is it? There we go. Awesome. With you in a sec. Okay, so boom. There you go in the chat. In the chat, I have posted a link. It's my affiliate link to purchase the software, Transcribe. That's the piece of software that I'm using up here in the top left. I've loaded the video into it, so it's got the audio and the video when I hit play. Just double check the levels are coming through for you guys there. Microphone. Turn my headphones up just a little bit. That down a little bit. That sounds about right there. So this is Transcribe. The software is called Transcribe. And I use this to mark out my files. I use this to put in where the bars are, and that helps me to work through the transcription that I'm working on. -7 sharp 5 asks an excellent question here, right? Levi, I just wondered, what name do you give to harmonic minor 7th mode? Lots of people call it 7th mode of harmonic minor, I discovered. You're absolutely right. Lots of people do call it 7th mode of harmonic minor because there isn't really an agreed name for it. If you look online, you'll find David Wallerman incorrectly calling it Super Locrian on his Jamplay article. That always bugged me, but I don't want to give David shit for that because I'm sure he's as annoyed about it as I am. I've always called it Locrian diminished. The reason I call it Locrian diminished is because it's like a Locrian scale, but every note in it that you could tweak is tweaked. So we have a diminished fourth, and there's a diminished fifth, and there's a diminished seventh in there. I don't think that's kind of standard terminology. Ultimately, right? I think it's a moot question because it's not really a mode that people use. You know what I mean? So, the theoretical name for it. But Locrian diminished makes sense to me because if someone says Locrian diminished, well, I'm taking the combination of those two things. It's a Locrian sound. Okay, cool. So there's going to be a flat 5 in there. There's going to be it's going to be a flat 2. Like it's a dark sound. Flat 5s and flat 2s. But when you say diminished, I think okay. So there's going to be a diminished 7th. So that's kind of how I think of that. Scott, of course you can ask, well, I've not even read the question, but of course you can ask a semi-off-topic question with regards to Guitar Pro. Do you have a tutorial vid that deals with how to properly use rehearsal markings? I think they are called directions. I'm sure I may have a video called directions. I may do. I could be wrong on that. In my Guitar Pro tutorials, I'm sure I deal with rehearsal markings. I'm sure I do. Could be wrong, but pretty sure I do. So, super, meta, mega, hyper, ultra, uber, epic, stanky, Lydian. Yeah. It is one of those that I don't think anyone really uses. Sean Baxter, guitarist, is online. Assuming that is, of course, the actual Sean Baxter. Sean would be a great person to ask this because I consider Sean to be one of the main people that I got most of my education from as a youth. Just from Guitar Techniques magazine. I studied everything that Sean talked about, and then anytime Sean made reference to a book in there, I would go out and purchase that book. In fact, I just last month purchased physical copies of all of the Jerry Bergonzi books. I read those pirated versions of those when I was a kid, and those were all Sean Baxter recommendations. That would have been, 2006, maybe 2004. Sean had a great article on tetrachords in Guitar Techniques magazine, and the concept was kind of interesting to me, and the more I looked into that, it was really referencing the Jerry Bergonzi book, which is kind of like a cellular approach to things. And so I checked it out, and so Sean is the master of this stuff. I don't know what Sean would call it. In fact, his name, 1, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, double flat 7, that's perfect. I'm sure Sean wouldn't call it Mixolydian Sharp 1. But a certain school that he used to be a part of did, and it made me very angry. Anyway, almost nobody uses it anyway, exactly, -7 Sharp 5. Scott, hit me up when the stream's over, and I will have a look and see if I can dig that out for you. And Christoph, look at that. Christoph has just become a member of my YouTube channel. He has clicked that join button next to the subscribe button. So we have another person that has that fantastic little badge next to their name. I'm always talking about ways that you can support the channel. That is another way you can support the channel. You can buy Transcribe via my link. You can join the channel and become a YouTube VIP. You can join my Patreon page. You can do all of this cool stuff. You can super chat. There's a PayPal donate link in the description. Any way that you want to support me, it's always appreciated. Anyway, let's listen to this damn piece of music because that was the goal. Right, so I'm going to mark it out. I was doing this transcribe plug, wasn't I? So as I listen to it, I'm just going to mark out where the bar lines are. Okay, that's going to help me when I go back and I do the transcription work. So. Just getting a feel for it. So, I'm just trying to get a feel for if I'm hearing this as being a 6/8 or 4/4. First time Sean's caught one of my live streams. That's cool. Well, thank you for tuning in, man. I'm probably hearing this as 6. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1. Actually, on the note of Sean Baxter, another thing that I picked up from Sean, because obviously Sean talks about transcription, and transcription is something that I am, that's my thing, right? I remember Sean saying that he would put on music when he's, just walking around the house doing housework and things like that. And anytime he heard something that was worth transcribing, he would make a note of that. And then when he had time to sit and do some transcribing, he would be able to sit down and go, okay, look at my list. There was that Larry Carlton tune, BP Blues. There was a lick at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Let me go and work that out. That was a really cool concept for me. It didn't work so well because once I start transcribing a song, I want to do the whole thing because it's like a autism thing. I just have to finish it. But yeah, that was something else I picked up from Sean. Yeah, I appreciate it, Christoph. Thank you very much. So let's keep going. I'm starting to appreciate how much I've bitten off here. The reason I can't play the guitar is I spend all my time transcribing it. Yeah, killer melody. See what Joshua does. His playing is so brutally precise. So articulate. Of Al Di Meola there. A player that I've never been a fan of. Adult chords. No adult licks there though. Al Di Meola, Paul Gilbert. It's such an interactive style of music, is it not? There's the you can see the right there, that shot there that I paused it on. Biréli smiling, Joshua's sort of looking over at him like, oh, can you believe that just happened? I love it. It's such a playful genre of music. I think that's probably the best. Before I said interactive, but I think actually the best description of this as a style is playful. It's a playful genre of music. Everyone that plays it has so much fun with it, and I love that. I really do love that about it. So yeah, that was pretty good. Now, of course, I've spent a lot of time talking about ways that you can support me. I actually want to do something else here. I just want to make reference of ways that you can support these guys. So Joshua Stefan has a school. I haven't personally signed up for it because I don't have the time to really study it. Up. Yeah, so it's gypsyguitaracademy.com. Let me pull that up just so you can see that. Oh no, don't want that one. We want that one. So yeah, gypsyguitaracademy.com with lessons in both English and in German, which is kind of a nice touch. Like I say, I haven't joined the website myself, but I have perused through all of his YouTube videos. Absolutely love the all of his stuff. Like, he's just a wonderful player, and I love that he has a website. And honestly, guys, if I had more time in my life, this is the kind of website that I would love to sign up to. I would love to sign up to this and have all the time to devote to that. So if Gypsy Jazz is a style that you are interested in, or more importantly, you like Josh Stefan's playing, I would recommend you check his website out. On top of that, there is another website that I have to recommend, owned by a friend of mine. Pull this up. So I have to make reference to DC Music School. This is the website owned by Dennis Chang, and it's not in DC. It's not in Washington. It's owned by Dennis Chang. This is the place that you want to go if you really want to learn about Gypsy Jazz, more specifically. I feel Josh Stefan's website is very much about like him and what he does. He features some great players on there. Dennis's website is more geared in towards the Gypsy Jazz thing, though he does feature a bunch of other things on here. There's actually a Jason Becker thing on here. Of all things, there is a Jason Becker thing. I own a lot of this stuff because I've worked with Dennis on some stuff, and he gave me download codes for a lot of the stuff on his website. And the reason I kind of picked that, and Sean Baxter just mentioned Anton. Here we go. You could get the Anton collections over here. The reason I had to make mention of DC Music School specifically is because he does have a selection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 volumes of Biréli educational courses on this website, and I was watching through one of them the other night just so I could sort of get in my mind the kind of mindset behind what he's doing. And the thing I absolutely love about these courses is that they're subtitled, because of course Biréli speaks French, so I think there's something really wonderful about seeing somebody explain things in their native tongue. Just how freely they're expressing themselves. Even if you don't understand the language, you have to follow the subtitles. It brings just sort of an air of authenticity to things. So I am a big fan of DC Music School. I would recommend that you check his website out, Dennis's website out. I know he is currently, he has an offer in place whereby normally his royalties with his artists work in a slightly different way. Well, he's paying his artists in a different way now. He's getting them more money up front or giving them more money right now because obviously of this coronavirus thing. He wants to make sure that his artists, the guys that he's worked with, have access to some funds. So, yeah, it's just occurred to me, actually. I'm sat here, I'm transcribing this. The song is, I didn't make reference of it, did it? The song is called Made in France, right? Let me have a look if... Okay, yeah, I did check this. So there is also a video of Biréli playing Made in France, which is the song we've just looked at for DC Music School. This is the kind of thing that Dennis's website is all about. It's just so playful, so playful. You get the idea, right? So, yeah, that's what Dennis's site is all about. Let me just double check this. So this is in Style of Early series. Does he tell you? He doesn't actually tell you which one that's in. Oh, I'll tell you what, guys, get your questions in because I'm going to go through these. I'm going to go through all of these 9 things now just to see if I can quickly find which one of the courses Made in France is on. Not in that one. Oh, did I get it there? There's a special performance of Made in France on this one. In Volume 2, there's a performance of Made in France. Let me just check, because I know I own this course, so look at this. Apparently I got that. Dennis's transcriptions are also second to none. So, you know, if there's a question of am I going to be getting accurate material, the answer is always going to be yes. I did some of the Pat Martino stuff for his website, but Dennis himself is a wonderfully talented transcriber. I can obviously recommend that. Let's have a look. Made in France. Okay, so yeah, there is a transcription of Biréli playing Made in France in the Volume 2 version of the thing, of Dennis's site. Anyway, so Dan says, do you think it's possible to dabble in Gypsy Jazz? Seems like to do it properly, you have to commit to that and nothing else technique-wise. Thanks for tuning in, Sean. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And who knows, maybe I'll see you in November. So do I think it's possible to dabble in Gypsy Jazz? I mean, I dabble in Gypsy Jazz. I'm not very good at it, though. I think of all people, Dan, you should probably know the answer to that is yes, because I think that obviously Dan is a Gypsy Jazz player. And let's try it again. Dan is a Western swing player. He's a great Western swing player. And I think there's so much crossover between Western swing and Gypsy Jazz. And also you have to remember that there are guys like Biréli, who is like a jazz guy, but can also, you know, nail the Gypsy thing. He's got both of those in him, so it's kind of like he dabbles. But yeah, I definitely think, Dan, I think you can dabble. I think you, of all people, could probably dig even more into the Gypsy Jazz thing, and it's only going to improve your overall vocabulary in the Western swing thing. Honestly, I think there's a lot of crossover between the two. Anyway, should we get on with this? Right. So, do I want to do this intro? One, two, three, two, two. 2 2 3 1 2 3 2 2 3 1 2 3 2 2 3. Yeah, so he stays in sync. 1 2 3 2 2 3. Let's put this in. 1 2 3 2 2 3 1 2 3 2 2 3. So you're right that the picking is very much like a religion thing, but you know what? We're currently sat here talking about Joshua Stefan's playing, and his picking style, his approach to playing Gypsy Jazz is nowhere near what you would call orthodox. It's nowhere near what you would call authentic in terms of traditional picking hand positions. It's nowhere near as Django as you would think. In fact, when you look at his picking hand, it looks more like Guthrie's picking hand than it does, say, Jimmy Rosenberg or Slacello Rosenberg. So I don't think it's essential. From the limited experience of playing Gypsy Jazz I have, it fundamentally changed my approach to picking, not in terms of my picking position, but understanding the direction with which you strike at which you strike the string, and the tonal reasons for which you do that. And it did sort of, now when I play blues, I have really dramatically changed the way I strike the string for tonal purposes. So yeah, totally, yeah, you learn stuff from it either way. Right. Now, I'm just going to mull over this like over and over and over, because I'm completely undecided on what I want to do when transcribing this. My initial plan was to transcribe both guitars, and I kind of still want to do that, but it's going to take a long time. So if we just look at, let's do Joshua's part. So subdivide this by 6 because there's 6 beats in a bar. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. It's really hard to just when he starts playing it. All I'm hearing is 4/4. I'm hearing 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Well, yeah. Now I'm not. Now I'm hearing 3. Let's look at the chord. So I think my Guitar Pro is quiet. Why? Because I've had it open all day. Let me. I'm in the wrong piece of music. What am I even doing? What even is this? Oh, I'm gonna lose some Martin Taylor stuff here, but I need to reboot Guitar Pro because the volume thing is definitely an issue. We'll see if I get that far, Jeff. New file. Guitar Pro annoyingly doesn't have a Gypsy jazz guitar, so I'm just going to use steel guitar. Yeah, that's our chord. What is that? It's what, an A9 with a flat 7 in the bass? A9 with a flat 7 in the bass? Yeah. Minus 7 sharp 5. If you're unfamiliar with Dan's playing, you should check his stuff out. He's really fucking good. Oh, why am I still in 4/4? Let's fix that. That was in 6/8. It's kind of hard to get this in a way that you're happy with. I'm going to just put this as an accent. I don't usually use accents in my transcriptions, as you could tell by the fact that I didn't know where to find it. Yeah, and he is hitting 4 strokes, and there's that Guthrie. That. Let me just check the panning on this, because it might be made a little bit easier if they are panned left and right by effects window. Let's just have a go. It's mixed mono. I'm actually just going to this. Yeah. Same as that bar there. I will do Biréli's part over the top. We just don't have the accent on there. Accent is. I'm just going to put that in there because you get the idea, right? I think most people would think of this as being an A9. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to copy this and tweak this. That'll be easier. Yeah, so A9, definitely A9. Let's get rid of that. That in there. We got there in the end. You're missing Jake FM. You're missing one key thing. There's a 10 underneath it. So that on its own, 12, 12, 12, 11, yeah, that would be a dominant 9 first inverted chord on its own, a minor 7 flat 5 chord. But when we introduce this G natural underneath it, still at A7 or A9, but in this case, we got the flat 7 in the bass. Let's put a slide down on that. Put the open string in there because he does play it. And then we'll just get the start of this melody, and then I'm going to jump back and just do Biréli's part. So. So, ba, 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 da, da, da. The picking on that is interesting. I think a lot of people would assume that... let me check the fingering. Yeah, so when I was learning this stuff, this is kind of a common gypsy jazz motif that you play a lot. Pull off and then slide down. And I would always play pull off slide, whereas it's actually pick, pull off, and the finger slide. So it is a shift slide, but that final note is actually picked. It is actually picked. Yeah. You hear it right in the start. Hear it in that one. I used to agree with that, Andrew, right? Until I learned this chord. And if you learn any of the Scotty Anderson pieces, any of them, I've transcribed a metric shit ton of them. Like honestly, a metric shit ton of those. He will often end his pieces, like if a song is in E, he'll end by hitting the E note, and then he'll play this voicing. He plays that chord. And I did a video on this chord years ago. The most complicated chord, the most harmonically advanced chord, I think I called it. Because it's fascinating when you look at it. It is an E7 in that we have the flat 7 and the third of the chord, but then we have every extension that you would want to add to a chord. You got the 9, the sharp 11, and the 13 in there, which is just really cool, really cool. I like it. So that's a killer voicing. If I play this on its own, the count in. We don't need the count in. You got this. If you put an E under it though, yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful chord. So yeah, check out that video. Like I say, it's the most harmonically advanced chord, I think I called it. Anyway, so if we just get the tempo on this, looking at 252 beats a minute. Now that's eighth notes. So we divide that by... get my trusty wee calculator out. 250 divided by 3. Quarter note pulse would be about 84. A dotted quarter note pulse, sorry. Yeah, perfect. Right, let's just get Biréli's part. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm actually going to rename them. I don't usually do this, but so I don't confuse myself. I butchered his name there. Did I spell that correctly? Let's have a look. That's right. I mean, I have no idea. I guess I do. Let's do it properly. Do it the lazy way. Copy paste. Oh, didn't work. Right. Ooh. So, but what Biréli plays is. It comes in bar 2. We've got nothing in bar 1. I've already get rid of that. So we have rest. Right. Let's pick that. So we'll hold this for the bar. He might strike that a couple of times in there, but it's very quiet if he does. I can't do it that way because I hate the way it looks. I'm gonna do it that way. Ba-ba. I still hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate syncopation in 6/8. I'm okay with that now. I can't put an eighth note in there. It won't look right to me. My brain will not allow it. I'm banning myself from doing it. I'll allow that one. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to put that slid note in there. Ba ba. Ba ba ba. Perfect. Okay. Now we get into the fun land. Yeah, Christian, you get it. Christian gets it. There's some things that just shouldn't be written out. So Zero said, thinking it threw me for a loop. I ended up doing 3-4 at 2-2. I mean, this is the good point, and I've talked about this on my YouTube channel before. Understanding the difference between 3-4 and 6-8, because you look at 3-4 and 6-8, and you go, okay, well they both have. If you write eighth notes in them, they both will contain 6 eighth notes, right? But the difference is the it's the pulse between the two. 6-8 is a compound time signature, so the pulse is a dotted value. The pulse is on every 3 beats. So rather than counting in 3-4, you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Whereas in 6-8, you count 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and. So in a 6-8 piece, you're going to have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pulse to it. If you think of something like Metallica's "Nothing Else Matters," dun 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 dun. Apparently, I made that major. Why not? You get the idea, right? So that's kind of important that you hear the difference. And when we look at the melody, we don't count this as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's hard to hear the 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Are we? We're hearing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I hope that there's probably a delay between those two things, but if you listen to the piece, you're going to hear. Or hear the pulses being 6-8. Right, so now with those two things, if we listen to them both, oh god, that looks disgusting. Let's fix that. Shouldn't be too offensive. Could even put a little bit of panning on them, just so there's a bit of separation. Pretty spot on, I would say, if I do say so myself. Holger Sefan says, Christian, you can look at a C# minor 7 flat 5 chord as an inversion of an E minor 6 chord. That's a very common hack in Gypsy swing. Oh, that's, yeah, totally true. I use that myself all the time. You know, why play A minor 6 when you can play B minor 7 flat 5? Hello, Attitude Castle. I am doing good, mate. I am doing very good. Oh, well, there's no. The thing that to point out, Zero, is that because 3, 4, and 6-8 functionally, in terms of the bar lengths, are the same. The only thing that's really different between the two is where you're perceiving that pulse to be. It's not like you've taken something that's in 7-4 and you've written it as a bar 4 and a bar 3, bar 4 and a bar 3, right? When you have something that's in 3-4, like this entire piece here, right? Check this out. If I got this wrong, if I was wrong about this and it's not actually in 6-8 but it's in 3-4, I can just switch it to 3-4 like this. And actually, it's probably a good example. If I press play on this, you're going to hear this with a click in 3-4 now. And to be honest, when the piece starts, I actually feel that's where Stefan's pulse is. So you should just be able to go to your transcription and take it from 3-4 and slam it in 6-8 and change where that pulse is. One, two, three, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Thank you very much, Andrew. Right. I'm just going to move this over so I can see Stefan a little bit better. Now, this is Transcribing 101 for anyone that, I just absolutely shut everything down by wobbling too much. Let me open that up again. Yeah, it's that. Okay. My YouTube comments back. There we go. Try that again. If you are new to one of my transcription streams, again, the goal here is to improve your ability to do this yourself. And my tip is always to sing everything. When I listen to this melody, I only need to hear that once. Da, ba, 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 ba. With that in mind, da, 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 it's much easier for me to write it. So, ba, 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 ba. Da, ba, 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 ba. Now, I'm not saying that, and this is really important, right? I don't have perfect pitch. Let me stress that. I do not have perfect pitch. I can just hear that melody. Ba, 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 ba. And because I've transcribed so much, I know how I would play that, right? But it didn't start out that way. What it started out as is having to do what I've just done there, which is sing the melody. Unless you can really process what it is you're looking to achieve on the instrument, you'll never be able to write it out. My wife is phoning me, and do I have my headphones? I do have my headphones. Oh. Hello. I'm streaming, babe. Sorry. Talk soon. Bye. What? Yep. What did you say? No, that's fine. Bye. Sometimes the things I do are so spontaneous that even my wife doesn't know that I'm going to be doing them. Yeah, so with that melody, ba, 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 ba. Notice how I took a phone call there, right? And I've gone away from that. I've not transcribed this before, but that melody, ba, 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 I can process not the exact pitches, right? But the contour of the melody with some degree of accuracy. So then when it comes to me actually transcribing it, actually writing it down, well, rhythmically we know that it's evenly spaced. Da, 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 da. Ba, 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 ba. Well, okay, my pitching's relatively good. But the reason I have Guitar Pro set the way I do, i.e. when I play a note, when I write a note out, I can hear it. That's me checking the note against the melody that I've processed in my head. Ba 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 ba. There's our melody. Ba 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 ba. Now, like I say, my ability to hear a melody and then know how I would play it is high, but in the early stages it absolutely wasn't. You are okay to process the melody, ba 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 ba, and then use your guitar to find those notes. But the key is you're using the guitar to find the notes that you've already identified in terms of how they sound. You're not using your guitar to try and imitate the thing you're hearing on the record. You won't develop your ear by doing that. Well, you might do, but it takes a long time. So. Now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to process rhythmically how I want to write this. It's like I'm actually going to write it as a grace note thing like that. Ba ba. Da bo ba 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 G sharp. Ba ba. I'm not crazy on that trill, but I think if I might. Yeah. Now, he actually does pull all the way off there, which you don't usually expect. Ba-da-ba-ba. Checking the articulation. Yeah. Ba-da-ba. Ma-ba. Ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, what have I messed up there? Oh, that. My bad. Sometimes I make mistakes. Well, I don't know what Aussie album has my favourite guitar tone. Yeah. What do I strike here? Some sort of expert in Aussie? What am I missing here? What's this? Oh, Dave Matthews Band's song called Satellite that starts feeling maybe syncopated 3/4, then drums enter in 6/8. Maybe listen to that intro of the juxtaposition of the two pulses. We hear a dominant arpeggio. Oh, ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Oh, okay. Diminished. Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Is that diminished? Back to. Surely that was right. Why doesn't that add up? That. Okay, because I'm not in 4. My bad. I'm so used to being in 4. J.R. Taylor says, I have a couple of questions regarding my transcribe setup. Mine doesn't have the BPM markings or the ability to speed up to 150 BPM. Also, do you download the video file or stream it? Okay, so I've input the beat markings. I've put these all in myself. The software doesn't, know what a beat is. Computers, they're not too good at knowing what a beat is. So I've listened to this and I've inserted the markers by pressing M as I go. You don't need that. The 150% there. I'm sure I did that. Effects. Let's have a look. Where's my effects? Speed. Maybe help. The main tip that I give to anybody when they're using a piece of software is you need to spend a little bit of time going through all of the menus just to get a grip of what it does, of what all the things are and what they do. There's definitely a way to tweak this menu bar. Let me just. I've not done it in years, obviously. Excellent. How did I do that? Roll view on A, B, don't want to record. How the hell did I do it? Customize toolbar. Right click on that and customize toolbar. There you go. So I've just right clicked and customized toolbar. You can find that in preferences, and then I've just gone in and I've clicked the 150% speed one to, you know, offer that as an option. And I've literally just got everything in there because why not? Nothing, you know, no issue having it there and not needing it. I'd rather have it there and not need it than need it and not have it. How about we can slow this way down and see where he's playing this technology so great. I know, what an amazing time that we live in. I'm just going to save my time and copy and paste this, right? Obviously doesn't play the open B string first, so I will go back and put a rest in there. And it should be similar here, so I should be able to look at this and copy. Does he slide to that note? I'm actually just going to copy and paste all of this and then tweak it for my needs. Okay with that. I'm not going to worry about the interstitial noise in there. Right, so if we just listen to that first part of the melody, that should be okay. I fucking love transcribing. It's so much fun. Right, what do I want to do in terms of the key for this? Like E minor, isn't it? Oh no. I'm embarrassed now. So when I listen to the melody, I'm saying it's E minor, and it is E minor, right? So at the start, when I was calling this, what was I calling this? Like an A minor, A9 with the flat 7 in the bass. I guess no, it's not, is it? It's an E minor 13. E minor 13. E minor. Oh no, it's just an E minor 6 yeah, E minor 6 with a G in the bass. So E minor 6 with a G in the bass, and then when he adds the 14th fret up here, it's a 6/9. There you go. See, you know, live and learn. Yeah, live and learn. Naming conventions, they're important, right? Right. Ba ba ba. So ba ba. Where does he play that? Ba 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 ba. ba, down to F sharp, ba ba ba. See what I did there? I made a mistake, but that's fine because I'm not using Guitar Pro to put in the thing how do I put this? I am using it to put in the thing that I need, but I'm singing it. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Does he pull off there? Ba 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 ba. That's a fifth, Bob. Ba ba ba. Da da ba. I'm going to put a bracket around that because it's more of like a position shift. He slides to that note as part of going to that. What is it? F sharp? G sharp. No, he's just going to jump up a fifth. Ba ba ba. Play that. I love this next lick that he plays. I'll put a slide on that, yeah. You should be able to hear that. Very obvious minor triad. Now, am I using music theory knowledge there to say, well, he goes up a fifth here in Star Wars? JRV Taylor says, also, I've recently started transcribing myself, but I do it by hand. Okay. I always have to have my bass on me. I didn't know how to read previously, and this is helping a lot. Any tips for us noobs? Yes, J.R. Valor. I would encourage you to check out my Reading 101 series. Everything that I'm doing is reverse reading. Because my rhythmic reading is at a level where I can read this, because I can understand the rhythms that I've written down. It means that when I hear it and I need to write it down, I know the conventions of how you would go about writing it. So you need to write it. And as for, is that Syken guy, how to synchronize video of Transcribe like that? This is in Transcribe. I have opened this up in Transcribe. You can open video in Transcribe. You'll need the GStreamer plugin for Transcribe, but that's on Transcribe's website. I'll show you. If I just... this is some video files that I have to transcribe for another project I'm working on. Some Martin Taylor stuff. So it just opens. That's a project for another day. Hello, Akif Oz. Greetings from Turkey. Beautiful. It's classic AABA form, right? well, no, AB form. So let's get this right. Oh, now this is very similar. I'm actually going to copy paste it and then just tweak it because I know it's going to be very similar. The only difference there is there's an offset triplet. My rhythmic reading is good. So rhythmically, this is on the beat. But no need for me to write it all out again, right? Why isn't it beaming like this? It should beam like that. Oh, okay, it's both. Full chromatic passing lick there. This I'll delete. I'm going to have that note ring out one. Sorry. Beam that. I preferred that beam together. Da da da. Ma ma ma. Ba ba ma. Whoops. These would be staccato. This one will have a slide up on it. I'm just going to copy paste the melody before that melody. Right, what have we got here? Yes, but once you have established reference pitches, Star Wars, Twinkle, Perfect Fifth, you no longer need your instrument with you. Oh, okay, I must have missed some stuff there. Yeah, rhythm is key, and that's the secret. Like, I'm good at transcribing because my rhythmic recognition is good. My rhythmic understanding is good. Pitch is easy. You know, a monkey can imitate pitch. It's not difficult. The hard part is being able to write it down on the page, and to do that, you need to understand rhythm. So that is definitely the thing you want to work on. When I'm doing this, I made reference to Star Wars there for the Perfect Fifth, right? But I don't actually do that. It's not something I ever practiced. It's a subconscious thing. I actually think hearing an interval and then saying, that was a fifth, while that's a nice party trick, it has no real world application. Sorry, I deal in absolutes a lot like that. Of course it has real world applications. Like that's ridiculous. It has no practical applications for transcription versus just being able to hear an interval, hear something that's played, and instinctively know this is how I would play that thing, and then notate it, right? You don't need to be able to say that's a fifth, therefore I write it like this. I would be absolutely fine if you could notate all of this stuff and you couldn't tell me, oh, okay, the distance between those notes is, and yeah, that you can analyze that afterwards, right? Just my thoughts on that. Levi, what would you call 4x4302 in the EADGBE? I'm thinking a version of an F sharp minor 11 could also be a G sharp minor 9. What do you think of that? Starting to feel like 4. Play it on my guitar. Really off topic question. You definitely couldn't call that F sharp minor 11. Nice chord. The reason you couldn't call it an F sharp minor 11 is because you've got the 9 in the bass, right? Yeah, that's a G sharp minor 9 if ever I heard one. It's literally just yeah, it's like you're playing your typical like a G minor. Yeah, it's really slick actually. It's a cool voicing. I don't tend to like voicings like this because obviously I can't transpose that because it has an open string in it. Therefore, if I want to play it in another key, it just doesn't work. But if you look at your intervals, you've got the root, the flat 7, the 9, the flat 3rd, and then the flat 7. I can't help but look at it and say, why don't we change the flat 7 for like 6? I think functionally you'd struggle to use that in a context where an F sharp minor 11 is the right chord. I enjoy the question. Right. So. I could just listen to it all day. I just absolutely love it. There's a flair to it, isn't there? Where was I here? Let's just take that and correct it. So. Yeah. B. Oh, hello. He actually slides all the way down there. Has he done that every time? Have I just missed that? I have to check now. Okay, so it was pull off there. Pull off there. The B section. Pull off there. That one time there, I thought it would be odd that I'd miss it. He slides that time, which is kind of cool. Kind of demonstrates the playful nature of this style. Like he's not playing things fixed in stone. It's not like this is the way I play it. It's here's the melody, I play the melody, and sometimes you tweak that. I think that's the up here. Oh no, it's not quite the same, but close enough that I can tweak it, because that saves me time. Okay, I may stop there. I may go and get some dinner, because I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes, and I could always come back and do another little bit of this later. Should I do that? I think I'm going to do that. Guys, I am going to leave you shortly. I'm going to listen to this, answer any questions, then I'm going to head off and get some food, and I'll come back in a couple of hours, and then maybe you guys can invite some more people to the stream. So let's take a look at what we've got thus far. Okay, cool, that works. Don't. Are we just having jokes on Levi night? Is this has minor 7 sharp 5 gone from calling a chord minor 7 sharp 5, and now anytime there's a minor 9 chord, he's going to call it a minor 11 with the 9th in the bass? Don't encourage him. Right. Guys, I am going to head and get some food. But I will be back later. I will come back in a few hours, and I will do some more of this because, quarantine, and this is fun. I'm genuinely enjoying this. I'm looking forward to doing more of it. So thank you very much to my supporters over on Patreon. Again, now more so than ever, I appreciate your support. It has been a very, very tiring, testing time in my life. And I know other people are having it even harder than me, so I can't play the poor me. But what I can play is the thank you so much for your support. It does mean a lot, and I do appreciate it. And special thanks to my top tier patron, Chris Motes. Chris, you absolutely rock. Chris Motes, top tier guy, thank you very much for your kindness, generosity and support, mate. You've made an absolutely huge difference in my life this month, so thank you very much. Cannot thank you enough, and I hope you enjoy this transcription. Of course, this transcription will be going up on my Patreon page for my patrons to download. It will also be going at the transcription challenge tier, and it will also be going up for my YouTube VIP guys. If there's a join button next to subscribe, you can click that and join and become a YouTube tab VIP, and you can download tabs that I do for these transcription challenges. Cool. If none of that appeals, you can also check out my books on Amazon. Have a look for Levi Clay. Now's book sales are kind of slow at the moment, so if anyone wants to buy a book, it is a big help. Right, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in. And like I say, I will be back. I'll be back this evening, so keep an eye out on YouTube. If you haven't got anything going on, I'll be back and I'll do some more of this. So yeah, much love. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed it thus far, and we will do some more. So goodbye.